Welcome back to the Weekend Sugar. On this week's episode, we are going to make cotton candy cupcakes. So this is gonna be quite a long video, so let's get started. The first thing that we need to do is to make the vanilla sponge. This is actually a two-tone vanilla sponge wherein the bottom layer is cotton candy flavored, and I also put a little bit of food coloring in there to make it pinkish. And the secret ingredient for these cupcakes is actually a cotton candy flavor extract. You can buy this in your local baking supply stores. So in a large bowl, we are going to beat our butter until it's fluffy. And then I'm gonna add in my sugar and cream my butter and sugar together until it's light and fluffy. We're gonna cream this for around 2 to 3 minutes. Make sure to not skip this step because it really gives a fluffy cupcake at the end. I'm gonna add in a couple of my eggs and give this another beating and whipping. And then I'm gonna add my last two ingredients, self-rising flour and some baking soda. I'm gonna whip this together until it grows white and pale. I'm gonna switch to a spatula to make sure I get all the bits and bobs on the side of my bowl and then incorporate it to the rest of my batter. As you can see, your batter is really thick and white. So since we're making a two-tone vanilla sponge, we need to divide our butter in half, and I'm just eyeballing it right here, making sure that I get the same amount in each bowl. So since this is a cotton candy cupcake, cotton candies usually come in colors pink and blue. So we're gonna color our bottom layer pinkish color, and then we're gonna add a little bit of a cotton candy extract to give it that cotton candy flavor. I actually recommend choosing a darker color because once you bake it in the oven, the color is gonna grow lighter. So you want to choose a color that is a bit darker than your intended color at the end. Give this a little taste to make sure that you can taste that cotton candy flavor. And then with my ice cream scoop, I'm gonna scoop each of my cotton candy batter into my cupcake tins. I really love using ice cream scoops because they just make sure that you have an equal amount of batter in your tins, and it's really just multifunctional and it works best when you're making cupcakes. And then with a little spatula, I'm gonna level out my batter, making sure that it covers the whole bottom of my cupcake tins. And then we're gonna do the same step with our vanilla butter. So I scoop each into our cupcake tins. Make sure not to disturb the bottom layer because you want to preserve that line that divides the two colored batters. And then I'm gonna level it out, covering the whole bottom layer, making sure that we do not see any of the pink color popping on top of our cupcake. We're gonna bake this at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for around 15 to 20 minutes. And here's our cupcakes. We're gonna let it cool, and while it's cooling, let's make our cotton candy buttercream. Since cotton candy usually comes in colors pink and blue, I'm gonna make my buttercream in the color of pale blue, which is a really pretty color. It's sort of a pale, a pastel blue color, and it just reminds me so much of the cotton candies I eat at festivals. So in a freestanding mixer, I'm gonna beat in my butter for around a minute, and then I'm gonna add half of my icing sugar, which I sifted. Make sure that you sift it, and I'm gonna beat this at low speed for a minute or so. It's very important to beat this only at low speed and not at a high speed, which is usually how they do it. Especially if you live in the Philippines or in a tropical country, I find that this is effective into making a really sturdy and stiff buttercream. I'm gonna add the rest of my icing sugar and then beat this at, again, low speed, which is usually speed 1, for around 3 minutes. And after 3 minutes, you will notice that it's become white and really fluffy, and we're just gonna speed it up to about speed 8, high speed, and for around 30 seconds, and then we're gonna add in our cotton candy flavoring and our blue food color. Again, with your cotton candy flavor, a little goes a long way, so only add a little and taste as you go. If you want to have a stronger cotton candy flavor, then add more, but really a little goes a long way. I only added a drop of my sky blue food color because I want it to be a pastel blue and not a really striking blue. And your buttercream is done. And it's gonna look a little something like this. I'm using a close star tip, which has around 8 points, and I find that this is the perfect tip to give you that frayed edges that looks like a cotton candy almost. And but if you don't have this, you can use any close star tip or even just a circular tip. It doesn't really matter, it's still pretty. Let's get piping. American buttercream is sweet, so I think that I added too much on this first cupcake, but as you might have observed, I added less of the buttercream on my cupcakes because I'm not that fan of super sweet things, so just to balance it off. And I also love this vanilla sponge because it just balances the sweetness of the buttercream. So if you want to try this yourself, I left a link down below for the recipe. It's on theweekendsugar.com as per usual. It's a really fun recipe to make. It's very colorful, and whoever you give this to, I'm pretty sure that they love this. I really love this recipe for cotton candy cupcakes because it's really cute on the outside. It looks very simple, but then when you cut into it, there's like a pop-up surprise with the pink color, the pink bottom layer, and then when they bite into it, they taste cotton candy on the sponge itself, which I think is really, really nice. So thank you so much guys for watching. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Comment what you want to see next, and click on that picture on the screen to watch my previous video on caramel sauce. I'll see you next week. Bye!